From the field to the studio to your eyes and ears, we bring you the 816 Hour Super Bowl Champs Edition, boys. How are we feeling? Just let's start it off. How are we feeling on this amazing Monday morning, the best victory Monday of all season?
Feeling good. I mean, we've been waiting for this moment all season. The game didn't disappoint in any way, shape, or form, I would say. Still really doesn't feel real, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I'm feeling good. Feeling good.
Yeah, I mean, you never get used to that feeling of winning a championship. When your team wins that championship, you're always in shock about it. But today was great, just knowing that we came out on top. So
woke up 2-time Super Bowl champions. I bet it was a great game. Three times. Well, we've seen two. That's what I mean. I bet it was a great game. I don't know about you guys, but I did not get to enjoy any of it. I think I need to rewatch it to see how great it really was, because I bet that was a classic. That thing was back and forth. But I just want to remind everybody, in the past 5 years, the Chiefs have lost the AFC Championship, won the Super Bowl, lost the Super Bowl, lost the AFC Championship, and then won the Super Bowl. And they also hosted all 5 AFC Championships in those years. Is it safe to say this is a dynasty? Can we just – I know we talked about this before, but can we just get that out of the way? And that's safe to say this is a dynasty.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I feel like we've been saying that, been known.
I think after last year, I think probably could start to call them a dynasty, but go to 5 straight AFC championships. Who does that?
Yeah.
Dynasties do that.
Exactly. I mean, it's just insane. The first team ever to host all 5 AFC championships, or 5 straight years at home. But yeah, it was a great game.
100%. I mean, Chiefs open as favorites at plus 550 to repeat next season. Absolutely insane to think about that. I know next season's far way ahead, and you can't really look too far ahead whenever you just won the Super Bowl. Got to appreciate what happened. But real quick, wanted to jump into the game. We'll just jump right into it. The holding call on Juju that got called, got flagged. Everyone's been talking about it. It's been in the news. Should it have been called? Yes or no? Ticky-tacky. Who knows? How do you guys feel about it?
It was soft. It's a soft call. Chiefs, coming from a Chiefs fan, I don't think they should have called that, to be honest. I don't think that was a catchable ball to begin with.
That's such a no disrespect, Carter, but that is the worst take I've heard you say. And that was
somebody's got to fight for the other side.
If Juju doesn't get touched, he catches that ball wide open in the end zone. If he doesn't get
that's
held.
fair.
I agree. If everyone's talking about when he's going towards the end zone, he has the hand on his back. I feel like that's what everyone's talking about. When he goes a little, in and out, he grabs him by the arm, and then he grabs his jersey. So I think that's where the hold comes in. And you kind of like, man, you can't call that right there. And I get that. But if that's called all game, then why would it not be called in the biggest moment?
I just said the biggest thing I'm seeing is it's a holding call, and that's just point blank. Period. It doesn't matter. Yes, you can say that it ended the game. It kind of saved the Chiefs, gave them the opportunity to milk more clock. But still, it's holding in point blank period. So you got to make the call. But going into the locker room down 10, how did you guys feel? Then real quick, the Rihanna halftime show. How did we feel about that?
Respect for Rihanna going out there and standing on that floating platform without a wire holding her onto it the second time. But respect for that, doing it pregnant as well. Respect. But it'd be a lie if I said going into halftime that I was a little bit worried. But we came in halftime, came out, we made the right adjustments, ran the ball to perfection. So it was great to see.
Yeah, I'll start the halftime show. It was a good halftime show. I'm shocked she didn't bring out any guests. I was waiting for it. She was playing some classics. I was sad at halftime, but I was still bopping to it, bobbing my head. It was nice, but I was really waiting for that guest. I feel like if she brought out someone, it would have been so much cooler. But yeah, going in halftime down 10, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the guy to sit there and be like, man, this is over. It's over. I was pretty down at halftime. It hit me. After the Mahomes injury, and all I seen was on Twitter from reporters was like, man, I haven't seen Mahomes in this much pain in my 5 years here, or blah, blah, blah. Or the sideline just looks defeated. I saw that, and it just kind of hit me. And I was like, man, we're down 10, and Mahomes is this hurt. Like I hate that it ends this way. This is the worst thing that could have happened. But as I learned time and time again, you don't ever doubt 1-5.
Never. Ended the game 21 of 27 passing for 182 and 3 touchdowns. Kind of a
Weird
small sample size. I mean, it was very odd. First half, the Chiefs held the ball for a total of 8 minutes. 8 minutes compared to Philly's 21 minutes. So you really just didn't see Mahomes on the field. But the second half, the Chiefs, they came out one time of possession. I want to say it was 24-21. I want to say they won it by a couple minutes. But yeah, absolutely crazy. Tale of two halves. How did you guys feel seeing that first half? Just like obviously watching the time trick away, Philly just running the ball at ease, kind of the Chiefs defense looking like they couldn't stop anything, just watching Mahomes on the sidelines.
It was heartbreaking. Seeing them be able to do pretty much whatever they wanted on 4th and short. They could probably QB sneak every play down the field and it would work every time. But it was heartbreaking. The team is the best to do that play. They do it for a reason and it works every time. So it was heartbreaking. And then seeing Mahomes coming off the field hurt, holding his leg. I thought the worst. I thought the worst. I was like, oh no, it's Chad Henne season. Browns fans were shaking, but
hey, big shout out to Chad Henne for retiring.
Yeah,
as
2-time champion.
Big. That's huge.
Yeah, I missed that last night. I didn't see that he retired and walked away. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I figured he would, but oh my goodness. Sorry, I completely lost my train of thought. What was the question? I'm sorry. I completely lost my train of thought. What was the question?
Oh golly. Here we are. How'd you feel watching Philadelphia just kind of like eat time of possession that whole first half?
I got you. Sorry. Yeah, Mahomes touched the ball 2-3 times in the first half, and they just continued to run the ball. They didn't do it much in the second half, obviously, but they just took over that game and continued to hold on the ball. And they were up obviously 10.5, but they were only up 6 for a little bit. They just couldn't pull away when they needed to, and I think that was a big thing for them that collapsed late.
Yeah, that's huge. Going into the second half, something I didn't realize, Patrick Mahomes only threw 2 incompletions in the whole second half of that Super Bowl. Absolutely insane. Every time the Chiefs touched the ball, they scored. Touchdown, game-winning field goal. Just kind of the Chiefs' ability to adjust in the second half against this best defense in the NFL. Big props to the offensive line. Patrick Mahomes kept clean another week, so got to give them their flowers. The big thing that we talked about in the preview was gonna be the Chiefs' offensive line versus this pass rush. So how pleased were you guys to see the offensive line hold up? Carter, I know you had Hassan Reddick in your nightmares against Andrew Wiley. I know Key, you did as well. You were just imagining Orlando Brown. It was brutal thoughts.
They showed up. They came to play. They left it all out there on the field. That 0 sacks allowed to the number 1 sack team in the league.
Huge.
A team that was 5 away from breaking the sack record. And you hold them to a donut. They showed up. It was awesome. It was great to see. And the run game, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I wish Chiefs would do that every game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Carter. O-line played amazing. A team, like you said, I was going to bring it up. The team that was, about to beat that record, and you allowed 0 sacks in the Super Bowl in the biggest moment. Orlando Brown, you heard talk about him all season, if he's worth that money. But in big time moments, man, he stepped up. So definitely have to have a conversation about him in the future.
True, 100%. Moving off of that, unsung hero of this game, guy that stepped up big that you guys thought. Anyone?
Unsung. You go.
Juju for me stepped up big in the second half. He had 6 or 7 straight catches. We talked about it in the pregame about his his receiving yards being low, the line, and how he didn't have the 50 yards in a game for a while. But just go in there and just when they need him, when they rely on him, he comes through. So that's big. He had some big moments on some big late drives. So props to him. Got to give him his flowers. His first ring too. So great moment for Juju.
That's big. If you were watching his, my bad, Carter, but his Instagram live after he was just talking to Jarek, and Jarek was like, they wrote me off 2 years ago. I just now wrote back. And then Juju gets on and he goes, last year they wrote me off. I ain't right back. So it was just funny to see that him kind of get that Super Bowl ring. That's awesome.
My unsung hero was Nick Bolton.
Huge.
9 total tackles, and 2 scoop-in scores. One would get called back. But 2 scoop-in scores and a tackle for loss gets called back. But still, man had more touchdowns. Well, he had the same amount of touchdowns as he did the whole season. Oh, it was awesome. He seemed like he was everywhere. I love that guy. He only continues to get better. So
I really thought I got my dark horse MVP right. I really did. Once he got that second touchdown,
oh yeah,
started going crazy, and then I saw would have been wild. But mine, unsung hero, Kadarius Toney, wasn't really used as much as I kind of thought he was going to get used. Only 6 total snaps on offense, but 1 target, 1 catch, all he needed for 5 yards and a touchdown. Made Darius Slay look silly with that kind of in and out. To see a guy like Kadarius, who we haven't seen on the field much, to do that to a vet like Darius Slay, that was absolutely wild. And then the punt return, 65-yard return, Super Bowl record, put the Chiefs on the 5-yard line. That set up the big Sky Moore touchdown to go up 35-27. He just kind of brought the juice. I felt like kind of that punt return, you started to feel like, oh my gosh, like, is this going to happen? Like,
oh yeah, that punt return was like that switch.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh baby, here we go.
Absolutely love it. But then player of the game, I don't know, did anyone have any? I know we unsung hero play the game kind of the same, but have anyone else they want to give flowers to? I mean, it's the biggest thing. We're just throwing props to everyone.
I'll kind of hit off what Carter said. I was going to go more into Bolton, but just the linebacking core as a whole. Willie had 8 tackles. I think he played really well. But I want to hit on Nick Bolton a little bit more. You hear about him, I've been on him this season, about him in coverage, how poor he is in coverage, or you've heard him getting struggling at the line of scrimmage. I don't know if you've seen that on Twitter. Line of scrimmage just kind of should go at him and kind of lets him come to him, that kind of stuff. But he just continued to step up. He just played out of his mind. I feel like anytime you saw the ball, Nick Bolton was there to actually smack that dude. Mm-hmm. He played out of his mind. Like I don't think people realize how he was flying around last night. The man was in his second year in the NFL. I mean, he's just going to continue to get better at something. He's going to get better at, stopping the run or in coverage, or just, man, definitely. If he had that second touchdown, would have had the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, crazy to think it's only his second year, second in the NFL in tackles. Broke
180.
Broke the Chiefs
180.
absolutely wild. Broke the Chiefs single season tackle record. But just to like focus more on that fumble return touchdown, the Chiefs were down. The following drive, they had missed that field goal from 42 with Harrison. Then they had the 3-and-out. They get the ball back. Philly was up 14-7 driving. It really didn't look like the Chiefs were stopping them in any way, shape, or form. So, I mean, the game could have been 21-7 Philly, and it could have been not out of reach, obviously, because the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. You can never doubt that man. You can never count him out of a game. But, man, shout out Nick Bolton because he goes untouched, just blows up the play from the beginning. First Mizzou player to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. That is huge. So yeah, absolutely crazy to think that this guy's only in his second year and he's only going to get better in a Chiefs uniform.
Yeah. I do want to talk about the defense again real quick. For them, I mean, we had like 6 rookies on defense, and like I think I said it last week or maybe a couple weeks ago, like you don't need to play out of your mind. You just need to make that play here and there, and that'll be enough for Patrick Mahomes in the offense. And obviously the defense last night, they allowed, it was hard to get pressure. They allowed multiple 3rd and longs. That 3rd and 1 with these QB sneak, like Carter was saying, it was just unstoppable, just over and over. You're just kind of getting beat. And just for them at the end of that game, I mean, what was it, a 24-8 run in the second half, I want to say, off the top of my head. Just for them to just play good enough and just stop them when they need it is just huge. I mean, these guys are in their first year in the NFL. But yeah, I hopped on, like McDuffie was live, Watson was live, and they were talking so much. And they were like, we 1-year NFL vets. We came in this thing vets. And then Joshua was just going crazy and talking his stuff. So it's just cool to see how young the secondary is. And you saw them struggle even in the biggest game. And then they won this game. I mean, it just gets me, like Bryson said at the beginning of the podcast, you can't look ahead to the next season, but it gets me excited for the future.
100%. I mean, like you said, Devonta Smith, AJ Brown, they both did have numbers. Devonta Smith, 100 receiving yards, AJ Brown, 96. Dallas Goedert went for 60 yards. So, I mean, the Chiefs defense did give up yards, but like you said, they played well enough and they made the plays when it mattered to win this game. I mean, shoot, we've gone this whole podcast, boys. We haven't even mentioned Travis Kelce's name. This man, Travis Kelce, 6 for 81 and a score. He just continues. There's a fountain of youth somewhere and Travis Kelce's drinking from it because that touchdown catch, just wide open, just beautiful basket style. It's never, like Carter says every time, it just never gets old seeing that Mahomes to Kelce connection. I love it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wanted to give more flowers out to one more guy. Harrison Butker deserves an entire bouquet of flowers.
That's huge.
I don't care that he missed one. Give him the whole store of flowers. 1 for 2 on the field goals and 5 for 5 on extra points.
Made the one when it counts.
I feel like people forget Harrison struggles mightily with extra points, I feel, throughout the season more than regular kicks. So to see him go 5 for 5 and miss that 1 from 42, it was kind of different, but he definitely deserves flowers.
He just wanted to ring the bell, bring out the Grim Reaper.
Awake him. Did anyone have anything else before I got biggest thing we want to hit on it going into next season or biggest concern? But other than that, anyone got anything else from this game?
No.
Yeah.
But biggest task or concern for the next season, I feel like it's hard to find. On this team, you're talking about a team that just, I can name all the things they've done the past 5 years, but they just won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They now have cap space, probably the most Beach has had. It's not a crazy amount. But we've seen this man extend Mahomes for 10 years when he had $177 in the salary cap. So with him, with 20, 30 million, and you got a whole bunch of rookies that you don't have to pay. You already paid your quarterback. You have 11 or 12 draft picks. And we haven't mentioned the draft in Kansas City is going to be so awesome. It's going to be so awesome. But this team can easily reload in the offseason and be even scarier. It's just it's crazy. Like, don't get me wrong, this team obviously won the Super Bowl, so they're a great team, but so much potential. And this team won the Super Bowl. So, but they played 6 rookies and traded away Tyreek and won the Super Bowl. Like, and now they have money, and it's just crazy. It's crazy.
Absolutely wild to think that they took a step back this year as everyone took a step forward, and they still came out on top.
Yeah, like when they traded Tyreek, I was like, man, like you have Mahomes, you're always going to be up for the Super Bowl, but like I'm cool with this because it's for the future. And I'm not saying like, I was like, well, we're not going to the Super Bowl this year. I just kind of knew, we traded away Tyreek, so we got to build that roster. Here we are, we're Super Bowl champs. I mean, Brett Veach has done an amazing job. Obviously, Andy Reid. It's just crazy. And I mean, as a fan, it's awesome to see. But honestly, just flowers to all of them. I mean, they built a dynasty.
100%. Carter, anything going into next season that you're concerned about, or a task?
A task, maybe a concern. I'm not sure how to put it, but refilling that wide receiver room. I know we've only got three guys on roster for next year. 3 wide receivers on roster for next year.
Sky,
MVS,
Kadarius,
Justin Ross, if you want to count him. I still like his potential.
But do we go out? I said, I saw that Juju said he wants to come back. So do we re-sign Juju? I've seen some wide receivers saying they want out of their current situation. So maybe the Chiefs go swing a trade, maybe. I think they could do a lot. I think it's going to be a really fun offseason for the Chiefs.
Hey, DeAndre Hopkins tweeting Patrick Mahomes is different with the eye emoji.
I saw that.
I'm just saying.
Love that.
I'm right there with you, though. The left tackle position for me is a question mark. I don't think Orlando Brown's going to be here next season. I just think going to want too much money with how much. Well, I mean, the man wanted.
No. I don't blame you. It's just surprising. Yeah. I think they're kind of stuck with Orlando Brown, and it's not a bad thing because he's not worth the money he wants. I wouldn't pay him, but I think they franchise tag him, draft the rookie, let the rookie develop, because then if you let him walk, then there's not really anyone in the free agency class this year. I guess you could trade someone. That's kind of hard to find. But then you draft the left tackle, and then Mahomes has a rookie left tackle, and I don't think they want to do that.
There's a lot of options. I mean, Lucas Niang, I could see him moving from right tackle to left tackle. I don't know if he's strong enough to make that transition, but I think he's agile enough, big enough to make the transition. I think that's definitely something the Chiefs need to figure out. Like you said, they're picking at 31 this year, so I could definitely see them drafting someone. Eric Fisher's a free agent. Just throwing that out there. Taylor Lewan's supposed to get cut from the Titans. Another guy coming off an ACL tear.
I wouldn't mind Taylor Lewan just because
do the Chiefs spend a late round draft pick on a quarterback?
Ooh,
no Chad Henne.
Shane. Don't say it. Say his last name. Say his last name.
Is it Bouchley?
No, it's not Bouchley for the 90. Or no. I despise both of you. Shane Buechele.
Buechele.
But no, thinking of like a vet quarterback, because I definitely don't think the Chiefs go into next season just with Shane Buechele on roster.
They'll bring in somebody, yeah.
I'll be curious to see maybe a late round draft pick.
They could, just because that's cheap and you don't want to pay a veteran, because you're paying Chad Henne like $3 or $4 million. If you want to be, kind of tight on money, you could be like, oh, let's go draft a rookie. But also, I think the Chiefs.
Daniel back.
Hey, I'm here for it, man. But I think it showed with Chad Henne. Like, they trusted Chad Henne. You can say whatever you want, but the man came in and now has the longest playoff drive in Chiefs history. But they could definitely bring in a vet, somebody they trust.
Hey, Carson Wentz is going to be looking for a new job.
Yeah, he can find one somewhere else.
Throwing that there.
Imagine Carson Wentz backup. Nah, that'd be kind of tough. That'd be weird. Such a weird TV room.
Yeah, that'd be.
Same, sure. Matt Ryan's going to be available.
Ooh,
Matt Ryan should hang it up.
I like that, Carter. I like that.
That would be another weird QB room.
Come chase a ring, Matt. Come chase a ring.
Yes, sir. Hey, teach Patty a little bit more. Alex Smith 2.0. I'm here for it.
I would
just let him coach him.
Boys, anyone got anything else?
No, sir.
No, hit us up. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We got it. We got them all. Hit the follow button. Leave likes. Subscribe. Leave the hearts. Leave comments what you guys want to see on all of our social medias. Links in our social medias for some awesome, cool merch, some shirts and some sweatshirts on there. At Teespring at 16 hour, but also podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music. Almost forgot how to pronounce that one, but we're there. Leave comments, likes, and subscribe. Rate us 5 stars. That'd be phenomenal. But guys, I think we're out.
Real quick, did everyone enjoyed the Victory Monday? Last Victory Monday of the season?
Got me a nice big victory coffee.
I did enjoy it till you just reminded me it was the last one.
It's tough. We won't be
sad.
We won't be talking Chiefs football until the draft.
Hey, we'll always be talking Chiefs football.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about it. But boys, I hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl. I hope you guys had a great night. Are we out?
Yeah.
Peace.